Every transformation depends on people. Yet most leaders still underestimate one simple truth. Without clear internal communication, even the best strategies fail. Today we explore why communication isn't just support, but the true engine of transformation.
If you're working in any decent-sized organization today, chances are you're living through some kind of transformation.
Oh, definitely. Digital overhauls, strategy pivots, cultural shifts. It's constant.
Absolutely. And the budgets are huge, the planning feels endless, and yet, well, we know the failure rate for these big changes is still stubbornly high, isn't it?
It really is. It's quite something.
So, for this deep dive, let's start with a really fundamental question. Imagine you've got the perfect strategy, unlimited resources.
Yeah.
What's the one single thing, the absolute critical factor, that decides if all that effort works or just fails?
Well, based on all the research and analysis we've looked at, the answer seems pretty unambiguous. It's internal communication.
General communication?
Yeah. And our mission today really is to distill exactly why it's not just some nice-to-have support function, but truly the engine that fuels the whole transformation.
The engine. I like that.
Without it, the whole thing it stalls. Resistance builds up almost immediately. It's make or break.
Okay, so let's draw a clear line here right away. When we talk internal communication, we are definitely not talking about the external comms team, right? The ones managing brand PR.
Absolutely not. That's crucial. External comms is, how you look to the outside world. Internal communication is, well, it's deeper. It's about truth-telling inside the walls.
Truth-telling, trust-building.
Exactly. And operational alignment. It has to make sure every single employee gets three things crystal clear. First, the purpose of the change. Why are we doing this?
Okay.
Second, their specific role in it. What do you need me to do? And third, and this is the one that often gets missed, how it actually affects their day-to-day job.
The what's in it for me, or what does this mean for my Tuesday?
Precisely. If you miss that third point, that connection to the daily reality, the engine just sputters out every single time.
Okay, so let's get practical.
Yeah.
It's easy to just say communicate more, but that's not helpful. You need structure, a blueprint. What frameworks do the sources point to? What actually works?
Right. One that comes up a lot is a stage-based approach. It's called the 4A model.
Sorry.
Yeah, it basically maps your communication effort to where you are in the change process itself, so you're not, getting ahead of yourself.
Makes sense. What are the stages?
So you start with awareness. Stage 1 is just building basic knowledge. What are the goals? What's the reason, the rationale behind this whole thing? Just the why.
Got it. Foundational understanding.
Then once people get the why, you move to alignment. This is where you start lining up employees, teams, with the new vision, what are the new roles, the updated processes. People need to see where they fit in this new picture.
Okay, so they understand it, they see their place. What's next? This feels like the hard part, getting people to actually do something different.
That's stage 3, activation. And you're right, this is a key transition. You stop treating people like they're just passively receiving info.
Right.
You start enabling them, empowering them to be active contributors, giving them the tools, the permission, the support to actually start changing how they work.
Enabling action.
Ah.
Okay. And the final A.
That's advocacy. This is the ultimate goal, really. You've fostered genuine champions inside the organization, people who don't just accept the change, but they actively promote it.
So they become the peer influencers.
Exactly. They inspire others, they advocate for it. That's how you get that positive momentum, that ripple effect across the whole company. That's real scaling.
Okay, the 4A model gives us the when and what, but how do you make the message actually land? Emotionally, I mean.
Good point. And that brings us to another framework that often complements the 4A model. It's called the 3H approach. Head, heart, and hands.
Head, heart, hands. I like that one too. It feels holistic. It acknowledges change isn't just about logic.
Precisely. Because it's not. Especially during big shifts, uncertainty.
Yeah.
You have to connect on all three levels.
So break that down. The head.
That's the logic, the strategy, the clarity. People need the facts, the figures, the timelines, the rational case for change.
Okay, makes sense. The hands.
That's the practical stuff. Clear instructions. What do I need to do differently? How do I use the new system? It's about empowering tangible action.
Right. But the heart.
Yeah.
That feels like the one that gets missed the most, especially in, say, tech implementations. How do you communicate to the heart?
Well, it's the difference between saying, we're rolling out System X to standardize processes and cut costs, which is purely Head talk, right? Transactional.
Yeah, dry.
Versus saying something like, look, we're bringing in this new tool to automate those repetitive tasks that eat up your time. This should free up, say, 20% of your week so you can focus more on creative problem solving or building deeper client relationships.
Ah, so you're connecting it to purpose, to values, maybe even to personal growth.
Exactly. You're framing it with meaning, maybe sharing stories of how it will improve things. If you only talk to the head and the hands, but miss the heart, you might get compliance, but you won't get true commitment. You won't get that cultural shift.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so we have the what and the how of the messaging. Now let's talk who. Ownership. This seems like a huge sticking point in transformations. Who actually owns this internal communication piece?
Yeah, this is critical, and the sources are really strong on this. It cannot just be delegated off to HR or a comms department alone.
Really? Because that's often what happens, isn't it?
It is, but it's a mistake. Those teams are essential support, the architects, but the ultimate responsibility. It has to sit with top leadership. The CEO, the transformation lead, they must own the narrative. They have to be the chief communicators.
But wait a minute. Practically speaking, isn't that a massive burden? If the CEO has to be the face, the voice, the emotional regulator for everything, aren't they spread too thin? Doesn't that risk them going silent when things get tough? That whole silence from the top problem.
It's a real challenge, absolutely. But the argument is their behavior, their presence, their communication style is the most powerful message. Ownership doesn't mean they write every single email or internet post.
Okay, so what does it mean?
It means consistent presence and, crucially, transparency. They need to be the steady hand on the tiller, constantly reinforcing the why, showing up town halls, videos, internal social platforms, walking the floor.
Visibility.
Yes, but more than just being seen. It's about managing the emotional climate, proactively addressing the worries, the concerns people have, being honest, even when the news isn't great.
So acknowledging the difficulties.
Yes, acknowledging the challenges, the bumps in the road, while always linking back to the core purpose. And something else that's vital, celebrating the small wins along the way. Visibly recognizing people who are making it happen. That shows momentum. It shows commitment in a very real way.
Okay, so leadership owns the narrative, sets the tone. Who then builds the actual communication machine? Who translates that vision into day-to-day stuff?
Right. That's where HR and the internal comms specialists come in. They are the architects you mentioned. They take that high-level strategy and make it digestible, engaging, and targeted for different groups.
And what does that involve? Beyond just writing well, what are their core tasks?
Oh, it's huge. First, creating the detailed communication plan, making sure it syncs perfectly with the overall transformation roadmap. That timing is crucial.
Alignment again.
Always. Then they develop the practical tools, the FAQs, the manager playbooks, message templates, maybe video scripts, all the things that help leaders and managers communicate clearly and consistently.
Equipping the messengers.
Exactly. And maybe most importantly, they manage the feedback loops, running pulse surveys, holding focus groups, creating channels for questions and concerns.
Listening.
Constantly listening, not just to tick a box, but to genuinely understand what's landing, where the confusion is, where resistance is popping up, so they can tweak the messages, adjust the approach almost in real time. It needs to be agile.
Okay, this is great. Let's get into some really practical tactics now. The nuggets that make communication actually work. Maybe even some surprising things. We've got the framework, the ownership.
Yeah.
What makes a message stick?
Okay, tactic number 1, message mapping. You absolutely need maybe 3 to 5 core, consistent key messages about the transformation.
Keep it simple.
Yes. But here's the key. You tailor the emphasis for different audiences. What resonates with an executive budget timeline is different from what a frontline worker needs to hear, which is usually about how their specific job changes.
So same core message, but different angles.
Precisely. Consistency in the core, variability in the emphasis, depending on who you're talking to.
Got it. And we keep circling back to the emotional side of change.
Which leads directly to narrative framing. Look, if you want people to remember the why, if you want it to resonate, you need a story, not just a list of bullet points.
Tell a story about the change.
Absolutely. Humans are wired for story. It boosts retention massively, builds that emotional connection we talked about. Think about it. Transformation is inherently a story. There's a challenge, a journey, a desired future state.
A hero's journey for the organization.
Kind of. And if leadership doesn't frame that narrative positively, trust me, the vacuum will be filled. Usually with anxiety, rumors, and negativity. You have to own the story.
Okay, owning the story. Let's talk about who tells it most effectively day to day. You mentioned the cascade model. The CEO sets the tone. But who do employees really listen to?
Yeah, the research here is incredibly clear and consistent. It's their direct manager,
The middle manager?
the middle manager, their immediate supervisor. Employees trust them far more for information relevant to their work than they do the C-suite, generally speaking.
That's huge.
It is. And it means you must invest in equipping those middle managers. They need specific training, clear materials, talking points. They need support to cascade the message effectively and answer tough questions.
So if the message just stays at the top or skips that layer,
The data shows adoption rates plummet,
Yeah.
like by over 40% in some studies. The manager is the absolute linchpin in the communication chain. Neglect them at your peril.
wow. Okay.
And this ties into the next crucial practice, emotional intelligence and empathy. We have to remember transformation is scary for people.
Fear of job loss, new skills needed,
Yeah.
just uncertainty.
Exactly. Fear, frustration with things not working yet. You cannot just communicate the rational plan. You have to explicitly acknowledge those feelings. Show empathy. Communication without empathy isn't really communication. It's just broadcasting.
Broadcasting. That's a great distinction.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip this. What are the common pitfalls? Where do these communication efforts usually fall down, even if the strategy itself is okay?
Number one, easily, is inconsistent messaging. Different leaders saying different things, maybe because departments are competing or they're just not aligned.
Mixed signals.
The absolute worst. It destroys trust faster than anything. The only fix is tight, centralized coordination and making sure all key leaders are literally on the same page before anything goes out. Regular alignment meetings are non-negotiable.
Okay, what else?
The silence from the top issue you raised earlier. If leaders get busy or duck for cover when things get hard, even for a few weeks,
Rumors fill the void.
they don't just fill it, they explode. That information vacuum gets filled with the worst possible assumptions. Leaders have to maintain a steady, visible presence, especially during tough phases.
Makes sense. And the middle managers.
The middle management bottleneck. We know they're crucial, but often they are struggling with uncertainty too. They feel squeezed.
Right, they're going through the change themselves.
Exactly. So they need more than just talking points. They need support, coaching, a safe space to ask their questions so they can be confident communicators and coaches for their own teams. You have to coach the coaches.
Coach the coaches. I like that. Anything else?
The modern curse, information overload,
Yeah.
just bombarding people, daily emails, endless Slack channels, 50-page PowerPoints.
Yeah, people just tune out.
Completely. You dilute the important stuff. The solution, be disciplined. Stick to a clear communication rhythm. Use concise, curated content, think short videos, infographics, summaries, and stick to established channels. Cut through the noise.
Cut the noise. Amplify the signal. Got it. So if we're treating communication like an engine, we need a dashboard, right? How do you actually measure if any of this is working during a transformation?
Good question. It absolutely must be measured. You can't just hope it's working. First, you look at basic employee understanding and awareness.
How do you measure that?
Quick pulse surveys are great for this. Simple questions. Do you understand the goals, the timeline? Do you know what's expected of you?
Okay, comprehension check. What else?
Then you measure engagement with the communications themselves. Clicks on links, views on videos, attendance rates at town halls. That tells you if people are even accessing the information.
Reach and engagement.
Right. But volume isn't everything. You absolutely need sentiment analysis. Look at the language people use in comments, in anonymous feedback forums, open text survey responses. Are they anxious, confused, excited, resistant? That tells you the emotional temperature.
Getting the qualitative feel.
Exactly. And one more key metric, tying back to the managers. Managerial confidence. Survey your managers. How confident do they feel explaining the changes? Answering tough questions.
Because if they're not confident,
They'll hesitate. They'll avoid the conversations. They'll block the flow no matter how good the CEO's message was. Their confidence is a lead indicator.
that's a really insightful KPI.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we zoom out now, connect all these tactics, frameworks, ownership,
Yeah.
what's the big picture? How does all this relate to the overall company culture?
Well, it becomes incredibly clear that the way a company communicates change isn't just about sending messages. It's a direct reflection, almost a living X-ray of its actual culture.
It's the litmus test, you mean. It shows what the company really values.
Precisely. Does it value transparency? Do leaders actually listen? Is it inclusive, taking frontline concerns seriously? Does it treat employees like adults capable of understanding complexity? The communication style reveals all of that.
So the how reveals the who we are.
Exactly. And when that communication is consistent, when it's open, inspiring, genuinely empowering, it actively builds and reinforces a culture of psychological safety, of trust.
And that culture.
That culture becomes the fertile soil. It's the ground where the seeds of transformation can actually take root, grow, become sustainable. You get agility, you get ownership, because people trust the process and feel part of it. It's not the PowerPoint plan that transforms the company. It's the shared understanding and belief forged through communication.
That really reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? You're not just investing in memos and town halls. You're investing in turning a strategy document into a shared belief system.
Turning plans into a genuine movement.
A collective movement, yeah.
So ultimately, this deep dive really underscores that internal communication isn't optional, it isn't secondary, it's fundamental to actually transforming the organization itself. If you want that big strategy to succeed, you have to stop treating comms like a cost center.
And start treating
That's probably the highest leverage investment you can make in the entire change effort.
Powerful stuff. So for you, the listener, we've covered a lot: the frameworks, the roles, the tactics, the pitfalls. But maybe this leaves you with one final important question to reflect on in your own context.
Yeah, if we accept that the way a company communicates change truly reveals its underlying values, then take a hard look at your own organization right now. Consider its communication rhythms, its level of transparency or lack thereof, maybe even its uncomfortable silences on tough topics.
What does that style?
What does your organization's current communication style honestly tell you about its real deep-down commitment to the transformation it says it's undertaking?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.